Hey guys, by now we are at the point that we were in class. This is our website up to this point. So what we want to do now is the parts that we didn't finish in class was we didn't finish the specific type of marking of our text. Notice this one is highlighted in yellow. This one has an underline. Oh, just in case you can't see what I'm talking about, let me highlight. So notice this part under So Fascinated on the website in the browser is highlighted in yellow, the word fascinated. Notice that purchased has a strike through it. Also notice that bought has an underline. So those are the type of things that we're going to, also notice that bars kind of goes up like a subscript or superscript. And then his goes down like a subscript. Alright, so those are the things that we want to take care of in this tutorial that we didn't get to do in class. And then in the next series of tutorials will be, also we have some links that we need to take care of. We got some words to link like here. The word here we want to link. The national holiday. Wait, let me see. Oh, actually, no, we're not linking the word here. We're linking this one, the National Holiday Calendar. And we have another link down here where it says dark chocolate caramel popcorn recipe. We're going to link that to its actual site. So we have a little bit to do to finish out our Class 1 module. And then, after that, in the next series will be when we style it. And this will be the class that we're going to miss on Saturday that we're going to do online. And that'll be where we style this. Again, your homework was to create another page based off of what we learned in class on a different holiday. And that holiday was any holiday that falls between our class. So what I did was I just clicked on the link to our national holiday calendar. You guys actually have this inside of your folder that I gave you guys last class. So if we go into March and we go to March national holidays, we'll see that every day has a holiday. So you were to pick something from the date of last class, which I believe was, what was last class? 19th? Now you guys are making me look at my calendar. I tell you. Let me check. Just to make sure. Let's see. Man, it's already... Okay. So our last class was the 19th. So I was right. I should have went with my instinct. So you have to pick a holiday between the 19th until April 2nd. So any holiday from the 19th to April 2nd. And you're going to make a page about it. So you're going to find your own images and put them in the same way we did with our image tag. Some paragraph about it, or you can make a paragraph about it. Having your header and different things, pretty much just like what we did here, but you're making it up in your own style. And so when we finish that, your next homework assignment will be to actually add style to your page that you created. Style like we will do in the tutorials that follow. But for now, just keep in mind your last homework was just for you to build another page based off of a holiday from the 19th until the next class, which is April 2nd. Okay. That being said, hopefully you guys had a nice holiday. Let's go ahead and get to styling. Alright. So I'm going to bounce back and forth to the two. So as we can tell, if we go to our third paragraph, this is where we're going to be putting in work. Okay. So let's highlight, let's see, the first word we're going to work on is fascinated. Notice that fascinated is highlighted in yellow. And actually what that tag is, it's a tag called mark. So it's the mark tag. And what the mark tag does is it kind of, you know what this is used for, like stores and things like that, that have like those sales flyers and they have different things that they want to highlight. So that's what we're going to do. And actually, you know what? I was wrong. Our first word is going to be German. So hang on. Let me find it. Because notice, see here, German chocolate is, the word German is smaller than the word chocolate. So we're going to make this word small. So we're going to go back to our document and we're going to go to the HTML and we're going to search for the word German. Oh, German comes after fascinated. Okay, well, forget that. We're going to work with fascinated first. All right, so fascinated's here. It looks different on my other sheet, so I apologize for that. So fascinated, we're going to give it the mark tags. Why would we give this word the mark tags? Because HTML is all about marking up text. So we need to tell the browser, hey, we want this text right here to have the mark tag on it. So where there's an open, we must have a close, except for in self-closing tags. So now all we've done is around the word fascinated, we've given it the mark open tag and a mark close tag. Pop quiz for you. What does this make this entire part that I have highlighted? What does that make that? What is it called? If you said mark element, you're absolutely correct. Because remember, an element contains the open tag, the close tag, and the content in between. So let's save this and let's just see if we were able to get what we wanted done. And if we look in the browser, you should see that the word fascinated is highlighted in yellow. Again, this would be something like a sales flyer and things like that where you do strike throughs and stuff like that in that. Okay, so let's go back to our March 19th and let's see what else we have. Okay, and German was first according to here, but over here it didn't look like it. All right, so now let's go back into our document and let's find the word German, which is here. So weird. Okay, and the word German, what we want to do is we want to make that text smaller than the other text. Believe it or not, there is a tag for the word small that will make this text smaller. So let's go back to German and let's go ahead and give it small. I think actually there's even a big, like a big that would work with this as well. So I'm going to save this just so that we can see what's happening. And if we refresh it, we should see that our word German is indeed much smaller than the rest of our words. You guys see that? Did it work for you? It should have. If it did not work, check your syntax, because maybe you forgot the slash or something's missing, or for whatever reason you spelled small wrong, had a dyslexic moment as I have all the time, and maybe you did SAMLL or something like that. Just check all of that because the syntax and the way that you write things matters. Alright, so we took care of our small text, we took care of fascinated. Now you don't have to do this part, I'm actually just testing because I want to test my knowledge, and I think, or my memory is really what I'm testing. I think you can do big, it might be large, it might be something like that, but I remember doing that a long time ago, so I'm just checking. Let's see did the words, so yep, you can. Notice how I did. So just so you know, we're not doing it in this document, but you have small, you have big, where you can make text bigger. See how my word so over here in the browser is much larger than the other words, but I'm going to take that out. I just wanted to test it just to see. I just wanted to test. I did. I conquered. I'm happy. Delete that. Save. Okay. So the next word in our list of words, if we look over here, is, let's see, German. We have purchased, and we have purchase has a underline through it. So let's go over to our trusty dusty. There we go. Let's go to our text, our editable text, and let's go ahead and figure out how do we give it that line through it. Well, we give it an insert tag. Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry, we're doing the word purchase, sorry. On the word purchase, we give it a delete tag, because what this is saying, I use that same thing as a sales flyer, is, oh, to copyright, I want you to delete this word and add in this word. So we're going to delete the word purchase, and that's just through the DEL key. And of course, where we have it open, we must have a close. So we just deleted that. Let's check that just to make sure we did that correctly. And if you have a strike through, you did it correctly. So anyone else that reads this, let's say we send this to a web developer, they're going to say, okay, well, they don't want the word purchase, but they do want the word bought. Okay, and the way that we do that is we give it an insert. So INS is our open tag. Where we have an open, we must have a close. So INS will be our close tag. Save that, and let's see if that did the trick for us. See, so now it's saying, oh, we're going to delete the word purchase. We're going to add the word bought. So this is how it knows. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to give the word bars a sub. So that means it's going above it. You know these are from math when you use the super and the sub. So we're going to use sup, which is going to raise the word bars. So where it says chocolate bars, we're going to give it a SUP. And then we're going to close that. Save that. Let's preview that. And if you look in our browser, chocolate, the word bars should be raised on top of, at a level higher than chocolate. Is that what you see? That's what I see. So now the next one is we want the word his to be below it. In math, it's like base numbers. So we want it to be below it. So we want to find the word his. Okay, and that's going to simply be SUB. And then where we have an open, we must have a close. So SUB. Save that. Let's preview to see if it's following. And of course, included his company should be lower. Do you guys see that? Were you able to make that happen? Sweet. And let's see. I'm thinking that might be all of the pre-formatting that we have to do. His caramel. Yep. Okay. That's the pre-formatting that we had to do. These are the parts that we missed for our last class that we weren't able to complete. So this is going to end this series of videos. In the next series of videos, that's when we'll do the CSS part of it where we'll make it look pretty. Oh, actually, you know what? Nope. Didn't I say I wanted to make sure that we linked? I tell you, I forget. I told you guys, my memory's horrible. All right, so what we want to do now is we want to set up those two links. So let me make sure. Let's see. Which two links do we want to set up? Let's see. We have, oh, the National Day calendar. So we're going to go back over here. And now we get to revisit where? Let's see. All the way up in the top. There is a National Day. Ah, right here. National Day calendar. So what we want to happen with this is we want this to link out to an external website. And when it links out to that external website, it'll give us the feedback, the feedback for the link. It's also going to automatically turn that blue that's not going to go with our design. But that's okay. That's all right, because we'll fix all that ourselves. But we're going to introduce a new tag, which is our link tag. So right here where it says, I'm on line 20. So if you were following me exactly, you'll be on line 20. If not, it's in your second set of words. So in the paragraph tags where it says national days can be found here at the national calendar. Go ahead and find that. Pause the video if you need to, and that's fine. And then once you find it, we're going to give this a link. And the way that we give it a link is our A tag. Okay, so all I did was type an A tag, okay, right in front of national. And then right after national, I want to make sure that I close this A tag to say, hey, this link is closing right here. Okay, so the A tag stands for anchor, and in HTML, anchor means link. Okay, so because we're anchoring to somewhere else. Okay, so this is the link tag. If we save this and we go into our browser, we'll see the link tag, but it's not really responding yet. There's a reason for this, that it's not responding. It's the same with the image tag. When I said the image tag relies on other types of, what's that word? This tag needs the functionality to be extended in it. So what would that be? If you said attribute, you are rocking. So it needs an attribute to go with this tag. It can't sit alone because it has no idea of, well, I don't really know what you want me to do, but, you know, I'll do it. So the attribute that we're going to give it is the Href attribute. Href stands for hyperlink reference. So you're referencing out to something else. So it's href. And remember, it's an attribute, so it's the equal sign, and then quote, quote. All right, so now once we have the href attribute, we want to put a link in here. So one thing that we can do is we can go to this March calendar days, and we can go to the home page. Or we could choose this one. We could choose this one. So when you first go to it, let me make sure we're at the main page. Okay, so when you first go to it, this is where it's going to bring us to. Let's make sure. Yeah, this is where it's going to bring us to. So what you want to do is pick a calendar month once you go in it. But actually, this is a good spot for us to be at because we're not necessarily talking about March. We're talking about where this calendar can be found. So let's go ahead and copy this address. So all I'm doing is highlighting it in Command-C or Control-C if you're on a PC. Okay, so now with that copied, inside of our href, inside of our quotes, now we can put that address in there. And it's going to automatically bring in that HTTP, which you need. This is the protocol for hypertext protocol. This is it. This is where you have to, hypertext transfer protocol, sorry. This is needed, and if it's hypertext transfer protocol or hypertext transfer protocol secure, those two are needed in order to view the web. So that colon, and then that // and then of course the www.nationaldaycalendar.com, blah 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 blah, and whatever the rest is. Okay, this is called a fully qualified URL, and you have to have a fully qualified URL for a link to work correctly. Get that? Get that? All right. So the next thing we want to do with our link is we want to kind of give it a title. And remember, it's going to do the same thing that it did before, where when we roll over it, it'll give us a title. But before we do that, let's go ahead and preview just to see what we've done. Notice now there's an underline under the National Day Calendar. When we hover over it, our hand comes in to tell us, hey, you're hovering over this National Day Calendar. But notice we're hovering over it and we don't get any feedback other than that. So if you want the viewer to know, hey, you know, any additional information you wanted to know, you can put in a title tag, and that's what we're about to do. So after the National Day Calendar at a glance, let's put our cursor right after the quotes, hit the space bar, and let's give it a title attribute. So if we're doing an attribute, title equals quote quote, and now we'll be able to go inside that title and name this. So let's see, let's just name it National, TINAL Day Calendar. Okay, let's save that. Let's go over here. Let's preview. And now hover over your National Day Calendar, and what should come up is a little text box. Now it takes a few moments. A text box should come up. And when you click on it, it should go to your new page. However, when it goes to our new page, it takes over our page. And now we have to hit the back button in order to go back to our page. And we don't want that to happen. We would like it to open up in its own page. So what we're going to do is we're going to make that happen. So when you have links that link out to external pages, not the ones that link to your internal pages, We'll talk about all that later. But when you have links that link out to external pages, you'll want to make sure that they're opening inside of their own window. So that's what we're going to make happen. Because if you take over this, and let's say I'm a viewer and I'm like, oh, cool, I got the calendar, and then I close it, thinking I'm going to go back to your page, I'm not. I've closed it. Okay, so we're going to hit the back button to go back. And then we're going to go back to our calendar. Where are we? Let's see. Okay, we're going to go back to our calendar. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add another attribute, which is the target attribute. So now we're going to go after that, after the quotes, hit the space bar, type target equals quote, quote. And then inside of these quotes, we're going to put, we want it to open in a blank page. So the way that we tell it blank page, we put the underscore and then the word blank. Now the underscore is located where the dash is, but you have to hit the shift bar or the shift key in order to activate it. So let's save this. Now let's see what happens when we go to our National Day calendar. We click on it. Notice it did not take over our page. Our page is still here. There is no back button because this opened up a new page, and that's what we want. So now when we close it, the viewer automatically goes back to the main page. So cool, right? Coolest ever. All right, so you guys have created your link for that one. Let's, there we go. Let's see what other links we need. You know, there was another one. Ah, there is. Down here under how to observe, we want to put a link for this dark chocolate caramel recipe. Let me see where that one's linking to. Okay. Alright, so that's a long address. You don't have that page, so I'm going to suffer through typing it in so that you guys can type it in. Alright, so we're going to look for our enjoy this delicious dark chocolate popcorn recipe. So where is that? Dark chocolate caramel popcorn recipe. Let's see if I can find that. Okay, so I found it. For me, it is inside of line 37. For you, it'll be toward the bottom of your page because it's the last one, the last section inside of your main. Highlight dark chocolate caramel recipe or popcorn recipe, just so that you know where it is. Not something that you have to do for any other reason, just so that you know where it is. All right, now put your cursor right before the word D in dark. And let's go ahead and make this an anchor tag where we want. And this is just for our purposes, for us to see exactly where we want this to be. Now, I actually wanted it before the period, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it the right way. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so I'm going to put the cursor right before the period after the E in recipe, and I'm going to go ahead and make my close anchor tag. So inside of here, the reason you may be like, oh, well, why did we do that? Because I only want this dark chocolate caramel popcorn recipe to be a link. I don't want the period to be in the link because remember it underlines links and stuff like that. All right, but as we know, as we learned earlier, when we do this, nothing's going to happen on our page. It's not even going to respond as if it's a link because functionality needs to be extended to this tag. And how do we extend functionality to the tag again? Exactly, through an attribute. I just love hearing you guys say that. Yep, I heard you. You don't even know. All right, so let's put our cursor behind the A, put the space, and let's give it the Href Attribute. Inside of the Href, this is the long one, all right, we need to give it the HTTP, colon, // we need to give it the www.cdkitchen.com /recipes forward slash RECS, so Rex, forward slash 764 forward slash suite dash uppercase AND dash SPICY uppercase dash and then POPCORN. These numbers 76913 dot S as in Sam, H as in Henry, T as in Tom, M as in Mary, L. Woo, that was a lot to type. But because I didn't give you that page, ooh, and you make sure you spell it right, popcorn. Now we're going to test this. Now my typing, sometimes I type words wrong. You know how it goes, but we'll see. All right, I'm going to refresh. And now we should see the underline happen. And if we click on it, oh, look at that. I typed it right. Look, I underestimated myself. If we click on it, it goes to that spicy popcorn page. But what did it do? It took over our page. So now the viewer, if they close it, they get away from our page. Or they have to hit the back button. And we don't want them to have to do that. So, do you remember what we need to put in there? Yeah, we need to put that target blank in there. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's target equals quote, quote. Oops. And then inside of our quote, we want to give it an underscore blank. Now when we preview it, when we click on it, it opens in a new page and it is not taking over our page and we are happy. All right. So next thing we want to do is go ahead and give it a title. So we could say something clever like, so we need to give it a title attribute. And we could say something like visit our popcorn page for great recipes. Okay, and then when we refresh this and we hover over it, of course, our information comes in, it's in a tag, all is well, we are happy. Okay, so now that is about as much as we need to do to get ready for next class. The next class will be a set of videos. I will be recording them. They should be online, I would say Saturday evening, no later than Sunday. So you'll see them online at that point. Until then, have fun, enjoy. Email me if you have any questions, if you get stuck anywhere. If for some reason the video looks crazy, I'm not sure. But I think everything is fine. I did preview some of the videos, and I was like, yes, I was happy with them. So I think everything should be pretty good. The sound sounds pretty good and everything. So enjoy. Let me know if you have any issues. Keep in touch with me. Make sure you do your homework. And there'll be another set of videos coming for our class. Like I said, it should be Saturday night or Sunday morning. Until next time, thank you for watching. See you soon.